Welcome to the Lancaster City Council meeting. City Clerk.
City Council Member, Agency Director, Authority Members Hughes Leslie.
Present.
Molly.
Present.
Mann.
Present.
Vice Mayor, Vice Chairman Christ.
Present.
Mayor, Chairman Paris.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. The invocation tonight is Dr. Nathan McWhirter at Desert Vineyard Church.
Father, we humbly enter your presence, embracing the connection established through the sacrificial love of your Son, Jesus Christ. In your word, you tell us to ask for wisdom, and you will give it to those who humbly submit to you. You extend your grace when we seek your wisdom, favor, guidance, and presence, a grace that empowers us to choose righteousness and lead with compassionate conviction. I pray that the leaders gathered here, entrusted with guiding our city, may overflow with your divine wisdom. Shape their thoughts, foster unity of purpose, and dispel division. Infuse their time with a sense of peace and harmony, allowing each unique voice to be heard for the well-being of our entire community. Father, I lift our city before you. Grant this council the ability to bring safety to the vulnerable, order to chaos, and prosperity to every corner, fostering a thriving community. Acknowledging the complexity of our city's challenges, we rely on your guidance to navigate and overcome any obstacles, indecision, or lack of clarity. I pray for unity among our city's leaders, our government officials, law enforcement, county and state representatives, our nonprofits, and houses of worship. Let our collaboration be a testament to love and shared purpose, eradicating any seeds of division. May our community rally behind this council's endeavors, extending a helping hand to the hungry, clothing the naked, providing homes for the homeless, and fostering an environment of safety for all. Strengthen our resolve to combat the destructive influence of drugs and violence, and guide us in nurturing the growth of our schools, industries, hospitals, and culture. Your word in Jeremiah 29:7 commands us to seek and promote the welfare of our city, our state, our country, and world, which means seeking peace in all our efforts, including in our politics. As we head into this next year's elections at the local and national levels, please help the citizens of Lancaster embrace the truth that everyone is made in God's image and worthy of love and respect. Please help us be graceful and kind as we pursue our convictions in how we vote. Remind us that our fellow citizens are worthy of respect and love, even if they disagree with our convictions. May our houses of worship be the first to lead with love and respect. In the name of Jesus Christ, the embodiment of love, I bless each individual in this room with an anointing of your presence, wisdom, and peace. Amen.
Please place your hands over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, we have some presentations tonight. The first one is the Antelope Valley Adventist School student Hayden Benedict, and Jason will do the honors.
Yes, good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Can Sandra Macias join us? Is she here today? And Hayden Benedict? No, oh, there they are. Okay. Hayden join us too? Okay. Okay, in traffic. Hayden's not here yet, Mayor. We'll skip to the next one and see if we can't catch him up later. Thank you.
Okay, you ready for Justice Sunday?
The next item is Justice Sunday. I'm going to turn it over to Nigel Hawley to tell the story about Justice Sunday. You're up, Nigel. We do have, we're not going to announce all the names because there's so many people, but all the certificates are here. Okay. And we'd love to get it you tell the story.
Okay. Mayor, council, my fellow distinguished co-workers, it's an honor to stand before you guys. This year's Justice Sunday was amazing. I know I say that annually, but this year was incredibly special because we discussed a topic that has been lost to history, and that topic was Black Wall Street. And it told the story of the Tulsa Massacre. And what made this even more special this year is that the kids had less time to do it, but they still showed up and put on a fabulous show. So I would like to thank every one of you guys who came out to see it. Our mayor, our council members, our city manager, our directors, our captain. So the city really got behind what the youth are doing. And it was phenomenal, and the kids definitely felt it. So with that, I'd like to introduce Bishop Hearns to say a couple words, and then we'll allow you to hear from some of the students.
Third leg, get me up here. Thank you, Nigel. Thank you so much. Mr. Mayor and the council and to all of the staff and everyone here. Now, this, I think, is just over 8 years, Nigel? About 8 years that the young people have been presenting a piece of the history of America as it relates to justice, as it relates to Dr. Martin Luther King. And I want you all to know that there is not another city, another group of people anywhere that has supported the community, Mr. Mayor, and the Dr. Martin Luther King, and given that honor better than the city of Lancaster. You know, our city manager, Mr. Jason, you've always been able and willing to take Nigel in, myself, and sit down and talk to us, and it didn't take long before you shake your head yes, and we really want you all to know that we appreciate this. And basically that's what I want to say, and then the other thing is that Mr. Holly, Nigel as I call him all the time, has done a wonderful job, along with the LPAC staff. You guys were just phenomenal. Helped us to get through it all, and we certainly appreciate it. I just wanted to spend my time saying thank you, and I'm looking for all of you back in your seats, no matter how many people vote and who don't vote. I'm looking for all of you back where you are now. Now I know probably ain't supposed to say that, but I'm over 90 years old now, and I don't care who don't like it. That's how that goes. God bless you, and thank you so much.
Okay, with that, I'd
I
like...
thought you were old at 72, but then I became 72.
So now I'll introduce the Justice Sunday Alumni President, who will give a couple of the students an opportunity to say hello and to speak, and we'll get out you guys' way. Thank you. India Smith.
Got a little bit lower. Hello. It's always an honor to be up here and get to thank you all personally for supporting our kids year after year. This is my 4th year getting to thank you. A couple of our kids, their 2nd and 3rd year, so it really means the world that we have your support year after year for this wonderful program. It changed my life, and I can't speak personally for all their kids, but from how they talk about it, I'm sure it's changed some of their lives as well. So if it's hiding in the corner back there, and I'm making eye contact with Taino. So you going to start us off? Come tell us a little bit about Justice Sunday, your experiences. Ty is a returning student. He's a senior at Highland High School. So I love him.
Hello everybody. I had a feeling I would talk today, but I would say I didn't come in the direct mindset of giving a speech, so we're going to try this out. but I just want to thank all of you for what you've been able to put into this program. Like India said, this program has really changed a lot of lives. Especially for me, I've always been the type to advocate for what I believe in, and I've always really been into the arts as well. So being able to fuse that together in a sense to teach the general public something, like Mr. Nigel said, is something that's so hidden in history is just a real beautiful thing, right? And what I will say too about Justice Sunday is the people here, even after the play, they still keep you along, right? They still put you in opportunities where they see fit. If you're interested in something about law enforcement, they'll point you in a career pathway towards law enforcement. If you're interested in the political field, they'll point you towards the political field, and et cetera. And, you know, I'll say the alumni, Nigel and all of them, they're some of the few people that have seen me for me that don't necessarily try to use me in a sense, right? And what I do mean by that is in a lot of different organizations I've worked for in the past, right? You know, they like me, of course, because I'm very involved in the community, right? But also, too, it's with being young, right? Being young, light-skinned, Afro-Latino man, it makes them look good. You know, it does. And what I will say is, growing up, I've always had to, I'll say, play the system in the sense of get to where I want to be. I know how to, while I know I'm being used, I'm also using them to get where I want to be. But the difference with Justice Sunday is I haven't had to do that. They haven't seen me as just a being, a physical being to do what they want. They've really shown me love, and they have really shown me that I mean something and that I could do something. And so I really just want to thank everyone in Justice Sunday, all starting with Bishop Hearns, Nigel, all the alumni. Shout out all of them, especially Jamal with his exercising coach, one of the best in Justice Sunday. And like I said, just thank you to all of you, because you guys are really doing something that isn't done anywhere else, and you're really changing the narrative of what we can all be. So, thank you.
Okay, next, because she was the second closest to me, Journey. Tell me who you are and a little bit about just what you do.
Hi. I was also not aware I was speaking today, so bear with me. Good evening. I'd like to thank you all for your time in advance. As India mentioned, my name's Journey Artis. I'm a senior at Soar High School. I'm profoundly grateful for the opportunity that Justice Sunday has provided. I mean, not only do we as students get the opportunity to research, write, and perform in our own plays, which is often not the case as far as researching and writing goes, but we also get the opportunity to advocate for marginalized groups and ultimately have our voices heard. So I would like to thank all of you for making that possible. I would like to thank Bishop Hearns, Nigel, the alumni, and my fellow performers and students. Yeah, I don't have too much else to add other than I'm very grateful and thank you. Please keep doing what you're doing.
I wanted to hear from someone new. We have a lot of returners here. So between Mona Lisa and Tyzon, you can go next, Mona.
Good afternoon, and before I begin, I would like to say it is an honor being up here and speaking with all you today. And thank you for putting so much into the Justice Sunday program, because without Justice Sunday, I feel like I wouldn't be able to express who I really am and what my interests are. Growing up, I kind of had to hide myself from my family because they're not very fond of theater or anything outside. With my family, it's always sports and stuff like that. And I wasn't like that. I wasn't like my older brother who wanted to play basketball, or like my younger sister who also wants to play basketball. I was different. And with that being different, I had to coat myself in an image my family wants, which sports. So going into high school, I knew nothing about Justice Sunday until Nigel walked into my JROTC classroom, started speaking a bit about it, and I was intrigued. And I walked to him after he got done talking a bit. I was like, hey, how can I do this? How can I perform in this Justice Sunday? And he told me, just show up to our rehearsals, and learn your part, and just do what you do best. And ever since then, I just fell in love with Justice Sunday, and I love it every year, including this year. This year, when I first started off, there was very little of us. I started off in 2022. There was very little of us. We're a really big group. And looking back from where I started to now, I got to say we grew a lot. And although I would love to continue Justice Sunday, this is my final year of acting because I'm a senior over at Antelope Valley High School. And I know I could become an alumni, but my future for after high school is already set in stone. And yeah, it's just, I love Justice Sunday, and I love the people that are in it and the connection I make with them. So thank you guys. I love all you. Yes. Hi. Sorry. My name is Tyson Smith. I'm a senior over at Antelope Valley High School, and like I just said, my plans are the military after high school. Oh, what branch? I enlisted into the Marine Corps. I ship out right after high school. So I graduate June 6th. I ship out June 10th.
Hello, my name is Mona Lisa, and I would just like to say that Justice Sunday was a really big thing this year. It has brought me a lot of opportunity in the performance field, and last year, it was my first year, and when Nigel actually walked into my classroom, let's just say I was really excited. Basically, I just raised my hand. I was just excited, hop, skippity, doodle all the way. And I just for the whole winter break, I was just like, oh, I wanted to be in that play. But then when I came back, I was just going to thank my friend Tyson over there. He's like, you can still be in it. And I was like, sure, let's go. And so I got excited. I went to the Lancaster Performing Arts Center where they were having it, and I got into many dances, and I was very excited, and I definitely got a lot of opportunity from it. For one, exactly, the Renaissance, those dancers, they really pushed me, and they put me in those really big things, and they really gave me an opportunity to dance professionally. And I am really grateful for that too. And this year, it was also a great year because basically I got much better opportunities because I was actually there, and then the food was great, of course. Delicious Indian food. Love that. Chef's kiss. But I also love the people there. I made some great friends this year, like Taino. Of course, I knew him last year. Also, those guys over there too. I got to know them, and we're friends now, of course. And so, yeah, Justice Sunday is a really good opportunity for the youth. It boosts confidence, it helps your acting, and does all that stuff. Chef's kiss. Thank you. My name is Mona Lisa.
I'll go ahead and wrap this up. Just thank you so much for giving our kids the opportunity to share their experiences with you. As you can tell, they have a great time, and we're honored to have them year after year. Thank you, Sonia, for supporting us every year, and Jason, we could not do this without you guys.
So again, thank you guys. We had a lot of students that had to be in other classes and didn't get a chance to make it here today, but we are inviting all of you guys to come out and get a chance to say hello to them this Saturday, where we're doing the Future Leaders Brunch. So if you want to come on out, we'll be there at Sergeant Steve Owens Park from 11 to 3. Come out, eat with the kids, get to talk to them, and enjoy giving them an opportunity to network with you. With that, again, we thank you. And all of my students who are here, if you could come down to the front, students and alumni, so we can take a picture. I'm going to ask Sonia and Rod to jump in there, as well as our city council.
We'll just use one as a sample, Michael. We'll just use one as a sample.
Okay, before you go, Nigel, you know, I had the opportunity to see that program and to see it evolve and the amount of work that went in it. And while Nigel was doing that, he was also doing a truancy program, and then the thing at the fairgrounds, I don't even know what it was, but there was a lot of kids and a lot of cops. You are one of the jewels of this city. You're a pain in the butt sometimes, but nonetheless, you actually do things. You actually accomplish things. You actually lift up people with your efforts. And I want you to know how much we appreciate it. Thank you. You don't just show up when there's a camera. You know, you actually make things happen. And they wouldn't have happened but for you. Absolutely. It's everybody who knows you knows that's accurate. And okay.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate that. And I want to thank my mentor as well, who put up with me for over 20 years, Bishop Hearns, because I've probably been a pain in his butt too. But I always appreciate the awesome opportunity that the city entrusts in me, which is to trust our children to me. And so I thank this city for that. Thank you, sir.
Nigel will be living a long time because these young people are passing it from one generation to the next generation.
That's right.
And you can't
That's
do
right.
it. If I had 100 sons, I'd love for them to be something close to what he's like.
He walks the walk.
He
Walks the talk. That's right. Walks the talk. Yeah.
Yeah,
I get so tired of the people who just talk.
I hear you.
And Tanya, is it Tanya? Taino, Mona Lisa, Journey, and Tyson. You all got a $1,000 scholarship.
Oh, my God.
And you didn't even get one.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to go outside and pass out flyers so we pass out the certificates so we don't have to run. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Hey, you can pass out my yard signs if you want. Never mind. Okay. What do we got? Are we ready to go with the Antelope Valley Adventist School?
Yes, I believe so. If the principal, Samantha Macias, can come down. Well, and Hayden Benedict, too, please. Oh, check, there he is. He's dressed for the occasion, too.
Hello, this is Hayden Benedict, our sixth grade student. This year was our third year as a middle school class participating in the mock trial. You may remember our student Riley Smith last year here. Hayden was a time clerk. The mock trial program is where students have an opportunity to be introduced and experience a simulation of our judicial system. And so the case this year, would you like to share a little bit about it and your role? Yeah?
So the case this year was about a murder that happened at a medical center, and my role was the time clerk, which I kept time and made sure everything was in the time limit that we had for the competition.
Yes, and he also was one of our key witnesses as well on the opposite team. So he played in prosecution and defense. So it's been an awesome program to run, and we're very excited with what it's been able to give our students.
So did you win?
We won one round, yes, we did. I think our prosecution team won, and our defense didn't make it through this time, but yes.
Many of my lawyers I met in high school when they were in the mock trial program. I think that program is one of the best things out there. I had no idea that they were doing it with kids this young.
Oh, yeah, sixth, seventh, and eighth grade.
That's a hard thing. I mean, those kids work hours and hours on it.
It is. They can do it, and it's the same program that the high schoolers use as well. It's a wonderful program run by the Constitutional Rights Foundation. That's now Teach Democracy. But so they're dealing with the same high-level stuff. We don't do a pretrial, but yeah, they can handle it, and they're pretty cool.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, Hayden, is it Hayden?
Yes, yes.
How old are you?
11.
So Hayden, if I give you a scholarship, will you go to college?
Yeah. I was already planning on it.
And if you become a lawyer, will you come apply at my office?
Maybe.
Okay, you get a scholarship too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Come down, Mayor, want a picture? Or council? Just for you? Well, that's coming from the mayor, that's not coming from me. You go up there with them, too.
Twice.
Perfect.
Do Annabelle first?
Look over here. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Thank you.
All right. Mom and Dad's here. 1, 2, 3. There you go. You got yours? All right.
Oh, and now we're going to swear in Chris, right?
Yeah. Chief is going to handle the ceremonies.
Okay.
Good evening, Mayor and honorable council members. Today I have the privilege of swearing in my second in command, Chris Roberts. Chris, can you come down? He's brought his family with him. So Chris is a 20-year Sheriff's Department veteran. He has worked directly for Sheriff Baca in his office. He was an outstanding detective sergeant for me, and he has done quite a few things within the Sheriff's Department. He's also owned his own company, a technology company. He is a technology genius, which I am not. Find your weakness and hire somebody. You told me that, Mayor?
Can you tell us that when we hire you?
So, in fact, his company that he owned and ended up selling was technology focused on active shooter prevention and student suicide prevention. A very prosperous and well-run company. I like to say that I just reached out and grabbed him, but it's hilarious because I was thinking, how come am I going to get to help me run this city? And he called me to check in, and I said, I got a job for you, man. So, but I couldn't ask for a better second. He's a great leader, as you can see by our folks who came out to support, and he is an awesome family man, so excited about swearing him in today. Mayor, if you could come down and do those honors, I'd greatly appreciate it.
I think we want to do it up here. Better. So the Lancaster Police Department has been operating, what, 3 months now. We have 2 actually sworn officers, right? Right. We got 8 coming. But, and then there's a lot of support personnel. But we are the only city in the world of our size that 100% clearance of every homicide. And that happened once we brought the technology in to do it. And that was this group. I mean, nobody has a track record like that. And although the crime is, it seems like it's a lot, the truth of it is something much different. Only 2 cities in the whole county dropped crime in 2023. We were one of them, and that was largely because of what your guys are doing. Although I don't want to slight the sheriff's department because they're working with half the staff, and they still cleared every homicide. For this year, homicides are down about 90%. We are turning the corner. It's an exciting time to be in Lancaster, and I don't think it would be that exciting if you had not come, and Chris, if you had not come. Thank you. Marvin beat me up, and I can't hold my arm up. He didn't give me a scholarship.
Mayor, I might have to rethink this hiring. I think that guy looks better than me in that uniform.
Well, he's a little bigger. We are on our way. Why? Because we're not done yet. Anything on the successor agency to pull?
No speaker cards.
Is there a motion?
Motion to adopt resolution SA 03-24.
Is there a second?
Second.
Let's vote. And it passes unanimously. Any items on the California Choice Energy consent calendar?
No, sir.
Any speaker cards?
No, sir.
Is there a motion?
Motion to adopt the consent calendar for the California Choice Energy.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Let's vote. And it passes unanimously. The consent calendar, anything to pull?
No speaker cards.
Anything to pull, Jason?
No, sir.
Okay, good. Is there a motion?
Motion to accept the consent calendar as currently comprised.
Is there a second? I second that. Let's vote. And it passes unanimously. Page one, is that where we're at?
Yes. No speaker cards.
Public hearing is now open, there's no speaker cards. We'll waive staff report.
You may want to see this one. It's a good story.
Okay,
If you
good
get-
story?
if you get time, yeah.
Who's going to tell it?
The new assistant director.
Okay, so this is your debut. We want you to be engaging.
I will try my best. Good evening, Mayor and Vice Mayor and City Council members. I am honored to share with you this evening Studio 606, the newest facility dedicated to nurturing the creativity and audio production skills of artists and creators. We will begin by exploring a quick background of 606, shedding light on its inception and the vision of its unique facility. We will also explore the different rooms inside Studio 606, quickly followed by a list of studio packages and services offered, detailing the range of recording, mixing, production services available to all clients of all calibers. Lastly, our fee matrix will provide a comprehensive look at the tiered pricing system designated to accommodate students, nonprofit organizations, community members, commercial businesses, ensuring that Studio 606 remains an accessible hub for all of those looking to bring their audio projects to life. Studio 606, your community, your stories. Studio 606 was created to be an accessible and affordable means of local aspiring artists to bring their stories to life. Utilizing professional equipment that would be otherwise not available to them, young musicians and podcasters can take the next step with their art. Distinguishing themselves from commercial alternatives, Studio 606 is a community-generated space, serving and growing with the flourishing art scene of the high desert. It is more than a recording space. It is a nurturing ground for creativity, offering stepping stone for emerging talents to make their mark on the arts. First off, our Studio A. The heart of Studio A is a round table setup equipped with 4 Shure SM7B microphones, a gold standard in podcasting industry, known for their capability to deliver professional high-quality audio. This ensures that every spoken word is recorded with exceptional clarity, providing an immersive and engaging listening experience for podcast audiences. Studio A's environment and high-caliber equipment make it an ideal choice for podcasters looking to produce content that stands out in the ever-growing podcast market. Here's an example of someone utilizing one of our microphones. Studio B. Studio B boasts a vocal tracking booth that is acoustically tailored for the recording pristine vocal tracks, voiceovers, and audiobooks, ensuring that every nuance and performance is captured with clarity. In addition, the adjacent recording studio space becomes fully equipped with a drum set, amplifiers, and a range of microphones, creating the ideal environment for both rehearsal spaces and recording your latest musical masterpiece. This dual-faceted setup caters to the diverse range of audio projects, providing artists and creators with the necessary tools to bring their visions to life in a professional and inspiring setting. And this image is of a local high school band named Winter Friends that will be performing at our ribbon cutting next week. We also have a mixing control room. The mixing control room represents a significant asset in the realm of audio production, specifically tailored to meet the needs of high-end audio professionals and enthusiasts. Equipped with industry-standard Pro Tools X HDX system, it offers the state-of-the-art capabilities for high-quality multi-track recording, mixing, and editing. This system is renowned for its exceptional sound quality, speed, precision, making it a sought-after tool for the professional music production, film scoring, and audio post-production. At Studio 606, a wide variety of professional audio services caters to a diverse recording and production needs. It offers specialized audio podcast recording room, providing crystal clear sound for both amateur and professional podcasters. For those seeking to elevate their podcasting experience, Studio 606 also provides podcasting recording with video, allowing for multi-sensory audience engagement. Comprehensive editing services are also available to refine and enhance recordings, ensuring a polished end product. Vocalists and voiceover artists can also benefit from the studio's dedicated voice tracking capabilities, capturing every detail with precision. Bands can take also advantage of Studio 606 high-quality band recording equipment, as well as a space for rehearsals, ensuring that they are stage ready. Finally, Studio 606 mix and mastering service are the finishing touch to any project, ensuring that the final mix is balanced, dynamic, and professionally tuned to industry standards. Studio 606 has also implemented a tier pricing structure designated to accommodate a diverse range of audiences and their unique needs. They have, as mentioned earlier, there will be a studio rate, a nonprofit rate, a community rate, and a commercial business rate. The student rate offers an affordable pricing option for individual learners, allowing students to access professional-grade equipment and facilities to complement their education endeavors. The nonprofit rate is tailored for nonprofit organizations recognizing their societal contributions with more favorable pricing. The community rate is established for local artists and community members, providing a balance between affordability and access to high-quality services. And lastly, the commercial business rate is set for nonprofit entities and commercial endeavors, reflecting the professional level of services offered. Each tier is thoughtfully calibrated to ensure Studio 606's services are both accessible and sustainable, supporting the studio's mission to nurture talent across the spectrum of the community. And at this time, that concludes my presentation. As a reminder, Studio 606, your community, your stories. Thank you.
How'd you come up with the name?
That's a great question. That is prior to my time here with the city of Lancaster.
I'm glad you got the 0 in there.
606 is actually the address of the facility, so we incorporated that, and it's also obviously a studio services, so staff came up with Studio 606.
Okay, that's terrific. I'm a little concerned about the pricing for the students. You know, that, depending on the student, that seems prohibitive. Is there something, is there some waiver that can be brought into play, or?
We can definitely look at that and incorporate a waiver system or a discount system of some sort, so.
I think my colleagues would agree with me that especially young people find a way, if they really want to learn how to do this, that we can teach them and provide the equipment. Because, I think this is a wonderful, wonderful idea. I think that it opens up doors that are closed to so many people. At the same time, I don't want to exclude people that are going to do the work to learn how to do it because of a financial consideration.
We can come up with a program to do so,
Okay, so could you get back to us in a month?
definitely.
This is great stuff.
Thank you.
This is exciting stuff.
Very exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Public hearing is now closed.
I'll move to adopt Resolution 2407, establishing a discount for student rates and also establishing a revenue account in the amount of $2,700.
Is there a second?
Second.
Let's vote. And it's unanimous. New business item 1. This is a good one.
I'm actually going to turn it over to Allison to give the presentation, and then I do have the list of names, Mayor, that we went over, and I'll read those out when it's time.
Okay.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members. Before you for consideration this evening is a resolution to create an ad hoc committee under the Chapter 2.32 of the Lancaster Municipal Code to study whether and then recommend how, if so, the city at-large method of conducting elections should be changed to comply with the California Voting Rights Act. And the second item before you is appointing members to that committee if you determine to approve the resolution. The mayor and members of the city council of the city of Lancaster are elected from the city at large pursuant to the terms of the charter. The city has received a letter asserting that this at-large method of election may violate the California Voting Rights Act, and therefore we have proposed to create an ad hoc committee as authorized by Chapter 2.32 of the code to study whether and recommend how the city's at-large method of conducting elections should be changed to comply with the Voting Rights Act. The recommendation is to approve the resolution and appoint the members this evening.
Well, your assumption is that we don't comply.
No. The study is whether, and if so, if we need to comply, then how.
Okay.
Yeah, so the first question is whether.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, we have two speaker cards. Jason Singh. Jason, welcome back. It's been years.
Years, but you guys are always in my thoughts. District elections are not about race. It's about representation for that area of that part of the city. I've been advocating for city district elections for over 20 years for Palmdale and Lancaster. Lancaster is the size of 3 or 4 cities, regular-sized cities, area-wise. It is the 5th largest city in LA County at 180,000 people. It isn't like Pasadena where it's fully built out and kicked back and, people, it's more social than business. Palmdale's lawsuit, the district lawsuit, didn't just cost $4.5 million to settle the case. It has also cost over $2 million to represent the city in fighting the case. So you're talking over $7 million. You're also talking staff time, money, and just taking time away from other city things. I've advocated for, preserving the land around Palmdale Lake, Una Lake, Palmetto Historic Park, all these things. And the city just wasted that money and that time. I don't want that to happen to Lancaster. Also, you don't know an area just like you don't know where a man walked in his shoes. You guys don't live in East Lancaster, so you don't know what the problems are in East Lancaster, really, because you don't walk the streets. You don't talk to the people. You don't talk to the businesses. Not saying that you guys don't do a great job. I'm just saying a person that lives in an area knows that area better. I'll give you an example. East Lancaster has over 40,000 people. It has no gym, no place to go exercise, but it has one of the highest obesity rates in LA County. But yet you guys put a Habit Burger there. You know what I'm saying? A person that lived there.
Wait a minute, we didn't put it there. The developer put it there.
Well, a developer did, but that's another reason. I would have never allowed it to be put there in the parking lot where there's no parking. It interferes with all the other small business owners. And all that vacant land next to Walmart and everything could have been built over there. It was already hard to find parking over there at the Stater Brothers Shopping Center. Bad planning. It didn't even go before the Planning Commission. But the whole other thing is you'll be able to hold, the residents will be able to hold that person accountable. Right now, it costs so much money for me to run for citywide elections. I can't do it. It's impossible. But if you have a district, you can try your best in that district. And, maybe you want to do a hybrid, do the mayor and vice mayor elected, and then 3 districts, or 4 districts and a mayor. But we definitely want a mayor. You want to be able to have accountability for the mayor, and the mayor provides a vision, and you can always vote him out and hold him accountable. So please consider this, and it's the best thing for the future, because let's face it, me, Paris, Marvin, man, Father Time's going to get us sooner or later. We can't be council members forever. Thank you for your time. Well, most things die in their 50s, so.
Thank you, Jason. David Paul?
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, good evening. I wanted to get up and just say that one of the things that I would like the ad hoc committee to consider is how to improve voter turnout. We have traditionally 11-12% of our registered voters voting, and I think that's kind of embarrassing. So I would hope that the ad hoc committee would throw that in the mix and consider a way that the city can actually increase registered voter turnout. Thank you.
Thank you. Any discussion? Any questions? I'm disappointed. I mean, it's a fascinating thing we're doing. Personally, I don't think how a lot of cities have handled this has worked. I think Jason's correct. You do need to have a mayor. Now, how you do that, Mayor, I don't know. And what I would like the committee to consider is maybe, it's like a strong mayor in LA or something like that, where they don't attend the city council meetings unless there's something for them to do. But they have veto power, so you'd have to get a 2/3 to override it. That's one option. There's the danger, I think, of district elections is you don't build the core. I mean, you have 5 or 7, depending on how many districts are out there. Everybody wants their share, and now there's not enough to build anything magnificent. We wouldn't have had the Boulevard. We wouldn't have had MOA. We wouldn't have had LPAC, because it would have been spread out. So there's a lot, it's not all good stuff. A lot of bad could come with this. And so the committee I'm putting together, I'm hoping will explore all kinds of creative ways to redo how we do the elections, if we decide to change anything. The data that I reviewed, and I actually know a little bit about Voter Rights Act cases, I don't see it. I don't see where it's essential. That doesn't mean, I don't see how we're in violation. Might be. I just don't see it. But I don't know that that's really the issue. The issue is there a better way to do this? This kind of forces us into making those decisions. And if we exercise the wisdom that God has given us, I think we could create something really quite phenomenal that would solve what reservations I see as a danger zone with it. Anything else?
Can I make a comment?
Of course.
Districting hasn't been kind to Palmdale. The restructuring of it is something very difficult. If Lancaster was built out like Pasadena, Chatsworth, then we could represent areas. But when you're fighting against things like the Palmdale Power Plant that affected the east side of Lancaster, you had the entire council fighting against it. And it took the entire council to do it. You couldn't have one individual do it because it was in his district. You couldn't do the things that we do here in Lancaster if you went to districting. You can't build the things, the magnificent MARC building that we're building at the fairgrounds, because you couldn't bring the council or all the votes necessarily to do that. You'd have people trading for paving my district for more officers in your district. it's not a good thing when you're building your city. Once it's built out, then I'm all for it. But until then, I think we should take a really serious look at it.
Well, let's hear what the committee has to tell us. I just don't want anybody to think this is a done deal, because it's not. But, you know, it's no secret this will be my last term, and I think this is your guys' last term, right? So, I mean, new people are going to come in. The concern I have is the quality of the people that do come in. I mean, it astonishes me how many people run for office who have failed in business, are unemployed, had their resume with stuff that just didn't happen, and then we're going to be turning over billions of dollars to unqualified people who only show up for a city council meeting when it's time to run for office. You know, nobody really appreciates just what this council and what this staff has done. We are leading the world in so many areas. That doesn't just happen. And I think Palmdale's a classic example of that, for what it's worth. But anyway, we've got good people putting on the commission. I think they're diverse. I think they represent all different interests. And it's not that you're wrong, Jason. It's just, it's very complex. And I don't know the answer. But I guess I'm going to find out, aren't I? Thank you.
Or for that matter, the people will find out.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Because, Mayor, if I may add, because I listened to your takeaway, and I appreciate everything that you said, and then I listened to Marvin, and sometimes, as I guess it's already been expressed, running a city is very complex, and it's definitely running a business. And one of the things I'm very proud about is the fact that where we were 12, 14, 16 years ago, we only had 15% in a reserve budget. And today we're over 40%. And we've navigated the ups and the downs. I mean, we can go back and talk about when things fell out of the bottom, and then as most recent, COVID. I hate to talk about COVID, but there's a lot more that goes into running a city, and it's very complex. And again, my only concern is making sure that the right people are at the helm. Because I look at a lot of cities in Southern California, given the fact that I sit on a couple of boards that I shake my head often at times, and you can tell they have not a clue about what is going on. And it's more about me, myself, and I, rather than what's best for the people. And that's frustrating for me. So just thought I'd share that.
But whatever happens is going to happen, and it'll be interesting. So is there a motion?
Move to adopt Resolution 24-08 and consider the nomination appointments of the committee members.
So it would be appropriate to first adopt the resolution, and if it passes, then we can appoint the committee members.
Okay, I will second then the adoption of the resolution.
You ready to go? Let's vote. Had me worried there, Lauren. And it passes unanimously. Do I have the list someplace? I don't see it.
Mayor, I'll read the list that we went over, if that's okay with you.
Okay.
So you recommended that it would be Jim Bose serve as chairman, Rocio Castellanos, our deputy mayor, Sean Cannon, our deputy mayor, Drew Mercy, who's on our Criminal Justice Commission, Irvin Carrillo, citizen, Devin Burden is on our Measure LC committee currently, and Jennifer Sanchez is a citizen, but she's also been very engaged at Justice Sunday in the school district as well. So those were the 7 we talked about.
That's who I'm nominating? Is there
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? Anybody from the audience? Are we still on this? Okay. Okay. Let's vote. And it's unanimous. So, Rocio, come up with something that's never been done before that is going to be an improvement on how we govern. Thank you. Okay. In B2,
No speaker cards.
I want to hear that anyway. Rod? What's yours?
So, sir, we were awarded the barn discretionary grant 2023, and just wanted to talk to you about some of the items that we're looking at purchasing and some of the technologies that we're looking at bringing forward with this grant. It is $1.1 million. So I put together a short slide presentation to give you an idea of what we're looking at doing.
Did you put this together or did Chris?
He finds it, I write it. So the first thing is understanding that we have a traffic issue. I'm sorry, I'm grabbing it. Understanding that we've had some traffic concerns. We wanted to ensure that not only our department, but Sheriff's Department has the equipment needed to ensure that we get safe driving out there. Our approach from our department has always been, we're going to start by trying to gain cooperation. So what we are going to look at is purchasing some of the fixed radar speed signs. And these have shown to be effective in getting people to slow down and kind of calming traffic. So we're looking at purchasing some of those. I think the really big thing is that it kind of increases awareness, because it's amazing how many people are driving and don't realize they're in a 25 doing 50 or more. And that thing, when it gets your attention, you realize, oh, let me slow it down. So officers cannot cite on that, in case you're wondering. It's not a calibrated device, so it's more of a warning device that we're looking at, putting some of those around the city. In addition, when you don't gain compliance, your next step is enforcement. Or you don't gain cooperation, your next step is enforcement. So we're looking at purchasing more handheld radar devices, as well as dash cam mounted radar devices that can go directly on the dashboard of a radio car, as well as the handheld. And these are excellent because we're talking about getting an accurate count of how fast a car is going, and that will do really well standing up in court when you go to traffic court. Now, those devices are calibrated on a regular basis by the department that has them. So, and then we're looking at bringing some more crime prevention things into our realm here. And so we're looking at purchasing more cameras and also considering the video analytics portion of that. So it's going to give us the ability to capture, the video analytics gives us the ability to capture high-def footage, real-time, and analyze, and it kind of works towards detecting objects and understanding what is out there that can be a threat. So we're considering that. We're talking about absolutely increasing public safety, and as always, we're going to be very aware of and pay attention to the privacy of the individuals out there. That is the area where Chris has been extremely helpful, I will tell you that. And we're also looking at increasing our flock cameras and considering an increase in flock cameras. bar none, and I'm sure Captain Bartlett would agree, they have absolutely been one of the best enforcement and investigative tools that we've been able to bring to the city in such a long time. Those cameras, and they were absolutely instrumental in helping solve some of those homicides as well. So, and for the public who doesn't understand, we're talking about real-time alerts anytime a vehicle that is wanted comes into our city. And the thing I love about those is, we're taking human bias out of policing, and we're just finding something, a vehicle that is wanted, and we're dealing with that. So no deputy, no dispatcher, no individual working directly for the department has an effect on this. This is a vehicle coming into our city that we need to get to. Now lastly, I'm excited to tell you about this. So this is something that we're looking at right now. So we are interested in purchasing a 180-degree immersed training simulator. So this is, sometimes it's commonly known as a kind of a shoot, don't shoot simulator amongst police officers. But what it really is it's a device that gives us the ability to improve community engagement. We're talking about improving officer interaction, not just in critical incidents, but in those highly emotional incidents. Take, for example, a family violence, a domestic violence incident, or dealing with the mental health. This device, which wraps around 180 degrees and is about 10 or 12 feet tall, gives the officer the ability to react with life-size figures that can actually move across the screen and cause him to think about, or her to think about, how they're dealing with this problem. I think it's absolutely instrumental in working on de-escalation and communication. The Sheriff's Department has a similar device that they use for their department, but it's all the way down at Biscaloo Center, and they just have the one that I know of. Us bringing a device like this into our city will not only give us the ability to provide excellent training to our officers, but to deputies, to CHP. This thing can even be used for civilian employees because the trainer has the ability to control the suspect's actions. It's preloaded with thousands of scenarios already, but we absolutely have the ability to recreate incidents or create our own training scenarios and work on our employees on how to deal with this. You have the ability to have the officer use his approach and his talk with the person and gain compliance, and if they do, then the situation bundles down. But if the wrong things are said or done, it can ramp up. So we're talking like a real-time learning scenario. I think this is an unbelievable system, and I think any law enforcement agency out here, even the fire department, could get some use out of this system. So, and we're going to give ourselves the ability to have our people get as much training as they need up here, and that includes the Sheriff's Department employees as well. So,
Can you take the body cams, run it through AI, and recreate what occurred?
absolutely, sir. So,
So we could actually go through and it's a real live incident and see how it came down?
you can take that body cam, look at what was captured, and recreate that scenario into this system. So it's a fantastic training device. Chris and I went to the International Chiefs of Police convention about 2 months ago and got to experience this thing. And it is a wonderful training device. I'm excited about it. The other thing that I think we're going to really get some advantage with this thing is my plan is to bring in community and give them the opportunity to experience what a police officer has to experience so that they can see what that's like. But then also give us that important, valuable feedback on, okay, maybe you guys can try this or maybe you can try that. So it's just an incredible tool.
Is this mobile?
No, it is not, sir. It'll be set up in our new building. So it's a pretty big, in fact, it probably wraps around something like that. So you have the ability to pull the walls in. You can almost literally, if you like to, cause the role player or the person who's going through the exercise to have to spin all the way around and deal with an individual that's just not cooperating.
How are we going to defund the police and pay for all this?
Well, I think this is one of those devices that the folks who are part of that movement will be able to say, no, this is the right thing. This is teaching officers, how to
Hope
communicate.
springs eternal.
So that's really all I have for you today, sir. But I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Why are we delaying in getting the block cameras everywhere?
So we're definitely not delaying, sir. We're just trying to focus on getting our station up so that we can also have a monitoring system. And as mentioned in here, it's one of the things that we're looking at with this grant money to increase flock cameras. So, by the way, I wanted to share with you, we sat down and Captain Bartlett and my team sat down with ShotSpotter today, and that's actually being deployed right now. That system's going up, and we expect to be live by March the 1st.
I want to be very clear, and I'm confident that this council supports it. I want that digital shield up and covering this city so that no one gets away with committing a major crime in Lancaster. We now have the technology, we now have the software, and we have the money to put it up. I do not want to delay.
Understood, sir.
Okay?
Understood.
We're not going to budget this for the next 5 years. We're going to buy it now.
Absolutely. Understood, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Motion to approve NB2.
I'll second that motion.
Let's vote. And Rod, thank you very much. I mean, it's fabulous what's happening.
If I may, sir, I just got to say, I've said it before and I'll say it to anyone who listens. I have never worked with a supportive council like this that is willing to do anything in the name of public safety. It's unbelievable.
Thank you. Everybody voted? And it's unanimous. And thank you to the federal government for giving us the grant. Council reports.
Mayor, I'll go first. Wanted to announce, I thought maybe the chief would announce it, but at our last Destination Lancaster meeting, the hoteliers are unanimous to install the flock cameras. And we're going to do a minimum of 2 at each location. Some we took a look at, we may have to do 3. So currently we're in discussions where there's a survey being done at each location, but we're going to budget to make sure that they're installed at each one of the hotels.
That's terrific. For those of you who don't understand what the flock cameras are, we can track any car that comes into Lancaster until they leave Lancaster. This means if a crime's committed, one, the computer looks and see, well, who was there? That's the same car that was at another scene a week ago. It gives you that capability. But like on the recent situation where the 4-year-old boy was shot, they had a partial plate, and they were able to pick them up within 24 hours. It's the technology that now allows us to have a 100% solve rate on homicides. And most of them are picked up within 48 hours. It's just stupid to come to Lancaster and commit a crime, because every day we get a little better at catching you. Thank you. This is really the most innovative staff ever. I mean, think about what happened. You got half your deputies are not there. They're not funded by the county. They're not going through the training. We are short 50% of the deputies. And yet they were still able to drop crime, be one of the only cities to drop crime. And they do that through innovation, doing things that have never been done before. And we're going to see more and more of that. One of the things we're doing is we're hitting them where they live. You know, if you have an apartment building that's riddled with crime and is getting 50 calls a day from the sheriff's department, you're probably going to lose your business license. And you only have to take one of those business licenses for the other places to clean up. But we're looking at totally new and innovative ways to drive these people out of Lancaster. And, you know, it's going to be shocking to some people, but we will be safe. Thank you.
I give a report on the sanitation district. We had a sanitation district meeting last Thursday. They are asking for a rate increase. We denied them the rate increase. Our district is doing better than most. We have over $75 million in our district, and we're able to deny the rate increase because of that. We're in good shape.
And that is Marvin, by the way. I mean, that is Marvin doing the work, reading the spreadsheets, being prepared, and when they come to those meetings and say they want a rate increase, Marvin says, but you got $75 million sitting here, right? I mean, it's truly astonishing, the friction between downtown LA and us, you know? It's like, if we didn't have Marvin there going through these numbers, it would be a different story. Right now, the story is economically sound. But thank you. Okay.
Mayor, if I may, I just want to take an opportunity to laud our public safety team, but also our community. Councilman Mann and I had the opportunity to attend a neighborhood watch in Golly. I think it was one of the best attended neighborhood watch meetings that we had been to. And I just want to say, again, thank you to the staff for putting together an excellent presentation, for having all the material ready for our community members, but then also turning it back on our community. You know, the five of us up here, the staff, we can't do it all. We can't make the city safe for everyone. The fact that we have community members stepping up and taking ownership and pride and responsibility and watching out for each other, that is just tremendous. So thank you to those community members that I had an opportunity to speak with. Kudos to you guys, and kudos to our public safety team for all that you guys do. Continue to be innovative, and I know that as a community we'll bring those numbers down. We'll continue to bring those numbers down. Thank you.
Anyone else? Nothing to report. Where's my hospital badge?
I know, we need to, that's what I talked about last time, that we need to do something about it. We need a new hospital, and so we only have a limited time. So,
I got an idea.
thank you. We need to do something quick.
That is the next priority. We've got to get that hospital up. All right. That it? Jason?
Yes, sir. Just, I'm going to be very short tonight. You do have 3 videos, Mayor. One is the Hyundai press conference that we want to share, the AV Edge ribbon cutting, and the public safety effort at Beauville Court. So we'll run through those right now. And then we have a short introduction of our new city engineer. Nick, if you want to stand up and wave your hand, say hello. And so we've been in search for a new city we've been in search for a new city engineer for a while, and we're happy that he's here.
Who's the new guy? I missed it.
Nick, city engineer.
City engineer.
Yeah, he's working for Mauricio, so he's in charge of all of our engineering projects.
If you're here in a month, I'll quit calling you new guy.
So with that, we'll play the video.
If you look at auto theft, it not just affects you, your life.
rather than extremely simple, we're able to have a huge impact. And I want to thank Hyundai for coming and doing this. I want to thank the Lancaster Police Department for inviting them, and the Sheriff's Department for taking this problem as seriously as they are. This is the second time the Sheriff's Department has raided this house. That house, I couldn't walk through the living room. It smelled so bad. Nothing but a health hazard. The neighbors had complained and complained and complained. The Lancaster Police Department and the Sheriff's Department went in last time and found them making goat skins and selling them. The district attorney refused to prosecute. They were in and out of jail faster than it was for the deputies to go home. This is the second time they've come in, and this time it was for drugs. I'm not hopeful that the DA is going to do anything about it. But I can't believe the danger this house presents to the community. Fortunately, the city's code enforcement is now able to red tag this house, and that's probably what they're going to do, because it's simply a health hazard. It's beyond me that this can exist in our city. I wanted to bulldoze the house, but Jason said no.
That's all for my report, sir.
Okay, thank you. Just so, in case you're not aware of what we did, once we got in there, we were able to red tag it. Means nobody can live there until it's fixed. You know, I've been all over the world. I have stayed in really poor places. I've never seen something like this. I mean, I couldn't believe you guys had to live with that for so long. I mean, you literally couldn't walk in. I mean, there's feces everywhere, 12 dogs urinating everywhere, and people living in it, you know? And I asked the police officer, I said, how do people live in this? And he goes, isn't drugs a wonderful thing? You know, that's really what it is. You know, they get anesthetized to their own living conditions. It was quite an experience for me anyway. Okay, thank you. City Clerk?
This is the time to address the City Council Agency Authority on non-agendized matters. Speaker cards may be found on the back table of the council chambers. If you have completed one, please ensure you have placed it in the basket so you may be recognized. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. Please keep in mind state law prohibits the council from acting on items not on the agenda, and your matter may be referred to the city manager. Thank you.
Thank you. Heather Garden? Wait a minute, aren't you running against me? No, it's okay. You can still talk.
I am, but that's not why I'm here today. I come to you today as a concerned parent in the community. The traffic near the schools located on Avenue K and Challenger Way is atrocious. There's 3 schools in that area: Jack Northrop Elementary, Fulton Ellsbury Junior High, and New Vista Middle School. Every morning when I drop my daughter off at school, there's multiple accidents of people taking an illegal left turn from K2 onto Challenger Way, and I see multiple accidents almost happening daily. If we can make that so that there is some sort of deterrent there, whether it be an island, whether that be
more patrol, anything to make people stop making that left turn out of K-12, or out of K-2 onto Challenger Way. That would make it much safer for the parents dropping off their kids. There's multiple near accidents daily in the mornings and drop-off times, pickup times. That's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rob, get a Switter's report. Let's see how many accidents we've had there, and if we can, let's fix it. Thank you.
And Mayor, there's an engineering solution for the working on. So Teresa will tell you what's going on.
Yeah, so this has been on our radar for a little bit. We run those reports that you requested, and this is actually, last month we announced we got that $20 million grant to redo Challenger Way from I to Avenue L. This will be addressed with that redo.
Now, you're not going to put bike lanes in, are you? I'm taking a lot of heat for those bike lanes.
There will be bike lanes.
Could you do a better information, education program to the public that those are not my bike lanes? Those are the federal government's bike lanes. If we don't have the bike lanes and slow down traffic, they take away our federal funding. So you know why they're there. Jason Zink. You didn't know that about the bike lanes, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Actually, we need a bike lane on J8 all the way to Eastside High School.
I'm not putting in another bike lane ever again.
No, bike lanes are good. It actually makes the city look more richy. The police chief, I'm glad that you guys hired a police chief for the city. I've told Palmville to do the same thing. I always say, Palmville, why don't you just follow Lancaster, you know? The Studio 606, I thought of this idea 10 years ago. I told
Jason, they went to districts, that's why they
to put something like the Guitar Center next to the Studio 606, so you have some kind of a synergy there. On the hospital, you got the $6 billion measure. Why don't you just lease out the old hospital to the state for mental health and for elderly care, and then take that, then get a loan on the $300 million lease to use $300 million towards the new hospital.
The reason we can't do that is the earthquake standards.
Yeah, but it's not the same for the hospital. It's a different standard for hospitals, so it would qualify.
Because we already have one hospital sitting on 60th and I that's 120,000 square feet. It's the same standard for them. We tried to put the homeless out there at 60th and I and couldn't do it because of the earthquake.
So you can't turn the old hospital into housing?
Tried it.
Okay.
To upgrade it, it would be cheaper to tear it down and rebuild it. That's what the deal is.
So we need a plan.
Think about that for a minute. I'll give you more time, but think about that for a minute. Better for people to be living out in the desert in a hole than living in a building that might have an earthquake problem.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Doesn't make a lot of
Makes no
sense.
sense. There's a $15 billion ballot measure in November, but yet there's not one line item going to Antelope Valley. But other places, they have conservancy districts and California Job Corps for hiring youth and providing scholarships. Antelope Valley is one of the only places in the state that doesn't have it. So we're losing about $30 to $50 million in funding because of that. So I've asked Wilk, I've asked Lackey, I've asked Carrillo, and they don't do anything. They're the most worthless state representatives I've ever seen in my life.
Come on, Jason.
No, they are, by far.
Come on, Jason.
What's Wilk done for? The first measure that Juan introduced was for storage units, nothing to do for Palmville or Lancaster. We need a Planet Fitness and a Home Depot for East Lancaster. And I'd also like to ask if the staffer or a council member would ride with me around the city just so I can show some eyesores and some other stuff that I think you could fix very easily with little money and make a big improvement on people's lives. But if you could actually get Wilk and Lackey and Carrillo to do a Job Corps and a conservancy district for Antelope Valley, I'd appreciate that. The other thing is Antelope Valley Commuter Economic Zone, where we get incentives for for businesses to locate here, to create more jobs, because we have the highest per capita commuter population in the state, maybe in the nation, who knows? But, so that should be something there to reduce CO2, so let's use the green system and get some money for this. Why couldn't one do that instead of storage units, And just one other thing, I want to meet with the police chief on some ideas, just like the neighborhood watch signs that you have. Why not put a QR code on them? That way when people are walking their dogs or just taking walks, they could hit the QR code and find out how to be involved with the neighborhood watch. There's a whole bunch of ideas that I have that could really benefit the city. So we'll do that. Okay. So have a staffer call me or something, or call me. All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Spencer Williams.
Can I defer my time for a little later?
Sure. Jimmy Guevara? Come on down.
Oh, all right. Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Jimmy Guevara. I am a combat Marine Corps veteran. I'm also the program manager for the Los Angeles County for 5th District Veteran Peer Access Network. I'm here, I don't come here for, I guess, not to provide challenges, but more to provide solutions. So our program is funded through LA County, right? With that being said, we try to support and help every veteran and their families by guiding them and linking them to services within the county, the federal, and the state as a whole. Our job is to be the pretty much the boots on the ground. I hate that term as much as anyone else does, but I know I dislike it even more. But I just want to say our peers are going out there and going day to day in the community and trying to address some of the challenges that we see in our city, but also as our district as well. With the support of Captain Barger's office, we have been granted a $1.1 million supply of, I guess, resources to be able to provide that information. We've also had events like the Antelope Valley Veteran Expo that was held by our team as a whole. We brought everybody from the Veteran Administration, from the VHA, which is Veteran Health Administration, the Veteran Benefit Administration. We also had, as well as the National Cemetery Administration. For those that have been in the VA system, understand that those are 3 different departments within the administration in itself. We partner with also a lot of the local veteran organizations as well that have their hands and ears and everything around the system as well to try to bring in those veterans. We had over 300 veterans show up to this event at the Highlands, the Palmdale Highland Church. With that being said, I just want to address that and more as just provide more of information of what we do more than anything else. We service not only the dishonorable discharges, but also the honorable discharges as a whole. We link them to homeless services. We link them to our own county veteran service officer that works under benefits and disabilities as well, free of charge. That's one of the things I always encourage, because the veterans should not be paying for their own reason and advocacy to be able to get their disability for their time in service. So lastly, I just want to say, before I know I have a very short time now, I just want to say that's what we're here for more than anything else. That's what I'm here for, just to represent the group as a whole. They stationed us here in Antelope Valley because they saw that there was a bigger need here, a support for our veteran community. And I just would like to, if the city is open to it, I'm always open to partnering with any ideas available, as we also continue going out to the desert and looking for our veterans as well. Like you said, the holes, like in the underground holes that we see, we're there as well. And we also partner with the VMET team, which is the Veteran and Mental Evaluation team from the LA County Sheriff's Department. So I really want to thank them for really taking the lead and saying like, hey, let's just get our veterans back on their feet, get them back into the system, and really welcome them back home. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you. If there's something you need from us, something that we can help you with, you think about it, give me a call.
Okay.
And we'll, if it's possible, we will.
Very well, sir. I definitely have plenty of ideas, but we'll talk on the...
Jimmy, do you have spots on the ABTA buses that you can communicate with the veterans?
Right.
So you can talk with Chuck in regards to it. He knows, so you have spots available for you, so you can put something on the ABTA buses and they can, it will help you communicate.
I appreciate that so much, sir, and thank you. I'll definitely get with Chuck and definitely communicate that information as well. So thank you, everyone, for your time, and thank you for listening.
Thank you. Gina Bennett?
Good evening. I'm not real good at speaking, but I want to give a shout out to our police department, sheriff's department, or the house that lives next door to the drug house.
What is your name?
Tina Bennett.
I just want you to get facts, that's what I'm asking you.
And we got some action finally when we came to one of your meetings, and I hope
sorry.
that house stays shut down.
That house will never be in that condition again, at least as long as I sit in this chair.
I hope the homeowner doesn't get back in there, because if she does, it will start all over again. Because that grandson ran his grandmother out of that house. But she's been gone for 7 years.
I wish we could have closed that down sooner.
Well, we got action when we came here. So I want to thank you.
Of course.
And all of our neighbors. So,
I can't believe you didn't burn it down.
trust me, we thought about it. Throwing a little cherry bomb in the They've started fires in the garage, the yard. We've seen it all.
It was insane, absolutely.
And the traffic, 24/7, around the clock. And it was drugs. They're distributing drugs out of that house left and right. I mean, sure, the sheriff's department got tired of hearing us call all the time.
Have they started taking this stuff out yet?
No. But we did see somebody drive by last night that was snooping around and was trying to take stuff out through the backyard. I don't know who that individual was. But, you know, the backyard is atrocious.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Thank you.
But we wanted to say thank you.
And I'm sorry it took so long.
Oh, no problem. We've had a great team. Code enforcement team is awesome.
You know, that's really cool. I don't know of any other city doing this, that's taking code enforcement, putting them together with the police, and doing a joint effort in getting rid of these people. I think we're the only ones doing it, aren't we?
I think I had about 6,000 pictures. Sending them to Stephanie, so it all worked.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Ralph Torres?
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Council members, Chief, ladies and gentlemen, this is just a way of introduction. Been a resident for 25 years in Lancaster, and just about a year ago, I bought the old Muma Funeral Home, which is now Torres and Muma Cremation and Burial Services, which is now the only Latino-owned funeral home in Lancaster, which is, you know, have you had a chance to stop by and see the building as it is now prior to what it was before? It's a very, very, very nice building, which goes inconsistent with the beauty of Lancaster. And so I just wanted to take this time and introduce myself, Ralph Torres, and say thank you.
I'll come next week, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Good, thank you. Fran?
Just a visit though, right?
Well, you know, at my age, you never really know.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, and ladies and gentlemen, and especially your staff for Lancaster. I want to commend everything that was said today is what Lancaster is all about. And without all of you participating in it and trying to get the community to back all of you is great. I did want to say something, though. I didn't quite understand about the property on the east side, about the dividing it up. But I thought, just a quick thought, instead of breaking it up into districts or portions or whatever, why don't we just think of building it up so that it's regards to votes and so forth for the city of Lancaster. Build it up with more industrial and more commercial property, because a lot of people that live out in the Lake Los Angeles area, I know it's not Lancaster, but still, they would be coming and building up the business area to bring the people that do live out in the other parts of the city to come and spend the money in Lancaster. Even though it's the eastern side, but we need to build up the eastern side because that's where the people need help. And like I said, this just came up just right now. And I think if we can concentrate a little bit more on building up that area with more businesses, will help Lancaster a lot. Okay, my next thing is, of course, congratulations. I'm glad what you're doing. And those signs, those on Lancaster Boulevard, not Lancaster, Jackman, man, I live on that street, and that's like a freeway. The traffic goes like whizzing by, and some don't even stop at the light that flicks off and on. Anyway, that's one thing. I do have a thing that happened to me this morning. I was waiting for Dial-A-Ride to pick me up from my appointment, and I was waiting by the electrical pole that's right on the corner of Jackman and Dayton. And those metal, for a stupidest thing for me not to have a right name for it, like the bracelets that hold the pole together to the tree, that they screw into the wood, they're coming apart. There are about 4 of them that are loose, and it's very wiggly. And even the trunk along the metal trunk, that's old as the hills, and it's fraying. But just thought I'd bring that up.
We'll have somebody look at it. Okay.
Thank you. Oh, I did want to record, I told Sonia this morning, Sonia a little while ago, one of your employees, she parked across the street, and I thought she was parked, building a safety real quick. So I went over there, called her to ask her to tell her about the pole, and she said, no, she was Parks and Recreation. I said, well, thank you anyway for coming and looking at this, but see how your people, they stop and they listen, and I thank you all very, very much.
Thank you, Fran. Dr. David Eckel? I remember you.
Possibly because you was in my driveway.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, I know there's a bunch of things here, but I want to just recap on this Bowville court thing. And on August of 2023, we, as a neighborhood, came here to voice our concerns, and you, Mr. Mayor, actually instructed our new, not yet official Chief of Police, Roderick Armlin, and Assistant Chief, Mr. Roberts, Chris Roberts, I'm sorry for that. In our neighborhood, we just call them the Twin Towers because they're both so big and so strong. And one of them, I don't remember which one, even put the ebony and ivory to it. And I tell you what, they represent it all, especially in our neighborhood. Hey, to start things off, you, after you instructed him that night, it wasn't, let's get together with these guys in a day or two. That night is how quick things started to happen with this. And Chief and Chris both met with us. They ended up getting together with the city code enforcement. You were talking about this, doing this, and Deputy Busso and right-hand Stephanie Cordoro. Man, they was out walking the streets, our cul-de-sac, 16 houses, and they're saying, hey, everyone, they says, and I heard this terminology all night tonight, how about safe? Do you feel safe? And the number one answer was no. Why? Then I want to know why. Because that drug house, that's why. And they went down there, they included them in their survey, and that led to yet another thing that I've heard, and several unregistered vehicles on our street, they got off that day. And I'm just tickled with these guys. We did get, within weeks, we had days we had them walking the street. Within weeks, we had SWAT trucks there, and they did a raid. And, I hear about incorporating the sheriff's department, the DEA. These guys don't clown around. When they get business, they mean business. And I'm out of my time, but I just want to say one last thing. I want to thank you personally for making this thing come full circle, from instructing him to help us out till now red tagging this house and stopping just some of the filth and the traffic, not only human, but drug traffic. We just appreciate you, and we cannot say how much we appreciate you, but I tell you what, this new police department of ours here in Lancaster has got gold stars, that's for sure.
Thank you.
I feel really good about that. Someone raised the podium.
Well, what I really liked about that operation was the cooperation between the two departments. That sheriff's unit they sent in, when those guys tell you to do something, you better just do it. It was the epitome of professionalism. You're sending your best people. It was amazing. We're going to be seeing a lot more of those operations. David Paul.
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, again, thank you. It's a joy to live in this city, and it's a joy to participate in making it a better place. And Mayor, I talked last time about genius, and I was thinking about how fascinating it was that Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo could walk in the same town and pass each other on the street. And during that period of the Renaissance, there were many other geniuses that flourished, and, where does that come from? But I think that we are on the verge of a renaissance in this city and this state if we can make a difference that other municipalities can copy. Now, I really appreciate the cooperation between our new police, and we have so far to go. So it is hard to run against you for mayor and continue to compliment you, but you've done a great job. So
There's several other guys out there that don't have that problem.
Well, the thing is, we have to just tell the truth, and the city council has done a tremendous job at taking what we have and making it better. And Mayor, when you see Mr. Torres over there, know that he's my best friend, and his son is also one of America's most elite war fighters on active duty, still protecting our country today. So he's a good guy, and give him a good listening to, please. The other thing, of course, is that I wanted to finish today with, I appreciate the honor that I'm given at the end of the year to speak last in public comments, and I overwent it. I felt a little bad because I couldn't give you a more upbeat message, but the message of all the election shenanigans and stuff, that impacted me, because I think we do have to solve differences peacefully and amicably, and that kind of petty nonsense just has no place if we want to build a better world. But we're on the verge of building better things, and you asked me when I sat down why I would want to be mayor if it causes so much stress, which it really does. It's a stressful job to deal with all the people that just want to yell at you for no reason and not contribute anything. But I wanted you to know that there's nothing more stressful to me than not helping out, do what I can do, and I want to help lead the city into the future. That's my goal, and I was probably never happier to hear you say those words before, strong mayor. This is something we have to look at. We have to change the dynamic, and thank you for being open to that. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Aaron Aubrey? Heather, is your daughter here? Yeah. Tell her to get ready.
Hi, I'm Erin Aubrey, and I live on Beauville Court, and I just came here today to thank you. I thank the Lancaster City Police, Mr. Mayor, our Sheriff's Department, and Code Enforcement for coming out and shutting down that house. I'm a single lady who lives with an elderly mother, and we had to put a security system in because of the fear of that house being across the street from us. I had to file a sheriff's report because there's somebody who visited that house or was staying there stole mail out of our mailbox. Around Christmas time, they were looking for gift cards or checks or something like that. Now my mom makes me take the mail to the post office. She won't put anything in the mailbox. When the mail's delivered, I got to run out there and pick it up because she's just afraid that somebody's going to try and steal the mail again. But I just want to thank you for shutting that place down. I pray that it stays shut down and those people can't get back in there. And I just thank you.
Thank you. Janet C. Welcome.
Good evening. You're going to hear from one more. I also live on Beauville Court, and I'm here to say thank you, especially to you, Mayor, and the Chief of Police for coming to my front door and knocking on my door and making me feel safe and that we were heard. My husband and I moved into the neighborhood about 10 years ago, and we moved from Palmdale, and we had our daughter, and we lived on a corner, and it was a two-way stop, and there were constant accidents there. And so the reason why we moved to Lancaster was to live in a safer neighborhood for our daughter. And one of the things that I was looking for was a cul-de-sac specifically, because I knew there would not be traffic racing through the neighborhood. And I remember my husband saying to me, are you sure it's, this is going to be safe? Are we moving from one place to another and we're going to run into some other issues? And I said, no, this neighborhood is so beautiful. How could anything go wrong? And unfortunately, I was wrong, because a lot went wrong, and it was very unsafe. And 3 years ago, I lost my husband, and I am a widow, and there are other widows that live on the block, so I'm here to speak for them and for the single ladies, that we just appreciate you taking us seriously and coming out and keeping our neighborhood safe. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Brittany, give them my cell phone number. If they come back, you call me. Okay? I mean, I don't want you to have to live with this for a month. All right? Thank you. I mean, any way you slice it, these are bad people. You know? And for you, those of you who don't know the story, they're making ghost guns and selling them. You know? And the DA refused to prosecute. I mean, how is that possible? It's beyond my comprehension. Spencer Williams, it's your turn.
Mayor Rex Paris, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Vice Mayor as well as the council members and the city staff, and especially the Chief of Police and also his new second in command. It's a privilege. I am one of the neighbors that also live on Beauville Court and also Sherbrooke Lane. We have the corner house. And I'll tell you, I cannot express my gratitude for what you have done. We complained. We actually took action. The community came together, rallied together, and you heard our cries. And you responded immediately. That goes a long ways in our book. That goes a long ways in our community. But the job isn't complete, as you know. We need to take it to the next level. We have a lady who owns that house who is wanting to get back in, as you know. And we need to find ways to prevent that from happening. Now, we know that once you're a homeowner, there's nothing basically a person can do from preventing a homeowner from residing back in their home. We realize that. But we have a unique situation is that the house was condemned, so to speak, for lack of a better word. And also, as you so aptly put, we wish we could have burned it down. Doctor, why didn't you burn it?
I shouldn't have said that. You know, it makes it tough on the city attorney.
I understand. It was in jest. But at the same, nonetheless, not only is that the situation, but there's even a bigger situation. We have graffiti in our neighborhood. We have gang violence and et cetera running throughout Lancaster. So, and it's in all neighborhoods. And so we're looking at this particular situation for the sake of not only the single widows in the neighborhood, but also the neighborhood at large. We are just a small part that is representative, but we go throughout the whole neighborhood informing the neighbors of the progress that has been made, and also we do have our neighborhood watch where we're looking at and caring for one another as if we're all one family. And so we're wanting to ask you, how can we make this a permanent fix in order for this not to happen again at this particular home? We don't want to repeat performance a month from now, 6 months from now.
I have some ideas, but I'm on film. And they're recording my ideas. I think it's something I should come over and meet with you about.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Appreciate you.
And then we'll run it through the attorney and make certain that I'm not crossing too many lines. But
Thank you.
I think that, I like the way the Israelis deal with the terrorists, right? You commit a terrorist act, they blow up your house. You know, you get a lot of family pressure not to commit terrorist acts that way, right? Obviously, I'm being a little facetious in it, but what they were doing to you was terrorism. I mean, you couldn't sleep. You lived in fear. They deprived you of everything you worked for, essentially, because if you have to live in that circumstance, I got some ideas. All right?
Thank you so much.
As long as I'm here, she will not come back, at least with those people, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
But I'd be happy to meet with you, and we'll develop a game plan.
Thank you, sir.
But, I'm also grateful for you, because you gave us some ideas we hadn't had before, How do you deal with this situation? When you can't deal with just force, how do you deal with it? And we're coming up with some very creative solutions. And I don't think there's anything wrong with them. you shouldn't be allowed to have a house in a neighborhood that is literally a public health hazard. And that's what that was.
Yes.
It was beyond my comprehension that people could live that way. And we'll make certain they don't come back. Which brings me to the city attorney. Have we requested from the DA the right to prosecute misdemeanors yet?
Yes,
Have we got a response?
I don't believe so.
Did you give them a deadline?
I will admit that I do not recall the precise language of the letter, but I will follow up and get back.
If they haven't responded, I would like you to contact the Attorney General and see if he will take over the prosecution of misdemeanors in the city of Lancaster, because we are now in a state of emergency as a result of the DA's refusal to do his job. We need to get more aggressive. Oh, and by the way, I saw your street. You guys got to fix that road.
Yeah, you said you would.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, you did say that you would just fix the streets too.
Send somebody out there, would you? Thanks.
We got our vote.
Yeah, our signs are in the front yard.
Yep, it's in our front yard already.
Thank you. Thank you. I have another matter. I'm reluctant to say anything, but I'm going to say it anyway because I think it's the right thing. In this upcoming election, we have many veterans who are running. But only one veteran decided to break the rules and put his ballot statement picture with him in uniform. The Department of Defense has made it very clear they are not to do that. I don't want to do anything in regards to him. He can have his picture. But I want every other veteran contacted and tell them that if they would like to have a picture of them in uniform, they are free to do it. And I understand we're running up against time limits, but I don't think people should be allowed to cheat, especially on something like this. It should be open to everybody. David Paul's a veteran. You're a veteran. You know, if they want to use their picture, they can do it. But reopen it so they can do it. Because it was cheating for one person to do it when the Department of Defense said you should not do that. That being said, see if we can make that happen. I understand that there may be legal issues that we can't do it, but I want you to investigate it, and I want you to make it available to all of the candidates.
I will look into what we can do about that, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Anything else? Do all want to go home? I want to go home too. Carol, my day is done and I'm coming home. The next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, February 27, 2024 at 5 p.m.